Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis. This is Daily Dive. It is Thursday, November the 6th, 2025, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel before you go to get other great content, including this show. On today's awesome episode of Daily Dive, I'm going to start off by ranking the new NLL UnBOXed cities. I'll also do a brief breakdown of what UnBOXed is and why I'm bringing that up anyways. Then we're going to get to our first guest, Steven Stamp, to break down the 2025 NLL Draft class. Questions like, who are his favorite 3 to 5 prospects? Who can show out for their teams, some sleepers, stuff like that. Stamp is a gem when it comes to draft class stuff. And finally, we'll talk to Chris Fox about the IIJL that happened this year, including USA beating Scotland, and of course some NLL predictions. Alrighty, folks, without further ado, I'm going to have some fun here with the first segment. I know many of you may have seen the social media by now at Daily Dive LAX, but now we're going to have some fun with it. I'm not going to do an instant reaction like I did yesterday, obviously, but what I'm going to do now is rank them 12 to 1, okay? There was 12 new cities. The logos were done by Thru and a guy named Justin. I will try my best to remember which ones were done by which person, but excuse me, not Justin. Jason Valenti was the other creator who were doing the logos, so I did find that information out, but we're going to talk about them here. And I know that we're up to like 30-something now. I didn't include the last group. I might do that in a bigger post later. We're just going to do the 12. I think it'd be simpler content, and it'll just be easier to understand. Number 12 for me, and I'll be honest, the bottom 3, they're interesting. Number 12, unlike what many of you thought I was going to put here, I'm not. I'm putting the Austin Vibes in this spot. I'm sorry. I think that the armadillo with the peace sign and a guitar and a hat, there's a lot going on there. The colorways are not impressive. And again, a lot of this is not just the graphic designer. It's also the NLL's idea. So, but fair is fair. And again, NLL UnBOXed, for those that don't know, and I'll do that now here. NLL UnBOXed, these are not new teams in the NLL. These are not, we're going to expand here in a few years. These are many of the cities that do not have a team, but can help grow the game of lacrosse, put sticks in hands, things to help from guys like Casey Powell, etc. But keep it in mind. I know the NLL is I'd say a good amount to blame for people not knowing what the UnBOXed is. I know that whenever they do these rollouts, all they include is the team names and logos, and they expect us to read some 5,000-word article. It's not happening. But for fans, you also have to do a little bit of your own research too, okay? Because this has happened twice now, or 3 times now, where they've unveiled an UnBOXed logo thing, and we've had so many people going, oh, new team? Like, no, stop it. Stop doing that. It's just, it bogs down the comments with stuff that doesn't need to be there. These are not new National Lacrosse League teams. They are not, again, going to expand there within 3 years. It'd be great if they did. It's not happening. These are the representations of the area, and it's a lot geared toward kids. It's youth lacrosse. It's getting schools involved to, in gym class, instead of playing basketball or ping pong, they don't play ping pong, but you get it. But like they're playing some lacrosse as well. and that matters, okay? So again, Austin vibes. Sorry to you guys. I think bland colorways. I think the character is a little bit weird. It is what it is. Number 11 for me is going to be the one that looks like me, the Cincinnati Hammies. I would have rather liked a pork kind of vibe here. I don't know what Hammies. I don't know why that was the final thing. It's kind of like a Princess Pig or a Peppa Pig if we're going to go that far. I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb. I think it's just a very corny logo. I think that if I'm a kid, male or female, I'm like, why would I play for a pig? It looks dumb. I think the whole idea is weird. Again, I'll give it credit for being unique and colorful more than the Austin Vibes was. I think this logo is dumb. And I think if you're going to try to convince a bunch of kids who are into like a bunch of like trendy stuff, I don't think a pig in a crown is going to do it for me. I could be wrong about Cincinnati children. I hope I'm not. Again, like Michael Grace said, too childish. That's kind of my thing. You're like, we can go. I like some of these logos you're going to find. I don't want to take too long on these things, but like some of these logos are really actually fun and like kind of cool. All right. So let's do this now. Number 10 for me. The branding here is so inconsistent. Again, I'm trying to have fun with these, but this was the one I kind of had like the laughing video too. I'm like, if we're going to do gold, I don't think a pelican with a beak full of, the color looks more brown than it does gold. And again, it's not the designer's fault. I think, like we could have made that more shiny. There's ways to accentuate that. But yeah, so the bottom 3, I wasn't a fan of. The top 9, I believe, are nice. Winnipeg Frostbite, I was told there's a professional basketball team. There's a junior B hockey team or lacrosse. I don't know which one it is. There's teams that have the polar bear thing. And I'll be quite frank, it seems a little bit like, okay, maybe the NLL had to ask for permission. I did gather some insight that teams like Detroit could not get the turbo because the trademark was too expensive from what I was told. However, that being said, I kind of like paying homage to the area. Like, it's not the same polar bear. It's similar. So it's like the LA Sparks and the LA Lakers, the purple and gold. I like that. I'm hoping, like, if there's a Las Vegas NBA team, I'm hoping they resemble the gambling aces without obviously going too far in the gambling because that's a whole other story. Thankfully, this is an NLL talk show. We don't have to do that. But yeah, I like the unity of the brands, even though it's a little bit too similar for me. All right, number 8 for me. This one, I'm so torn on. The Milwaukee Steel Steeds, a little bit too mature for me. It sounds like you could have 10 references there. I do like the M logo at the bottom right, one of the alternates. I think that it's definitely an intimidating looking team. And again, if I'm a kid, I don't know if I'd sign up for that, but it's unique enough to be number 8. All right, number 7. Guys, this one hurt. There's so many good ones. Again, I've told people on other shows, I live in Georgia. I'm closer to the Jaguars than I am the Falcons, all right? Jacksonville's less than 2 hours away in the Savannah area, and I'm in Guyton, okay? So, Swamp Pups, I like it. Unfortunately, there was just better ones out there. So, shout out to the designers in the NLL for getting this going, but Swamp Pups made my number 7 list. I do think the Jacks with the tail alternates, beautiful. Number 6 for me, the Raleigh Rascals. If the colorway here was better, it might be higher because this one actually grew on me. The acorn in the background is a nice like backdrop for the logo. I think him spinning the acorn is a little bit too much nuts. But I do like the scroll. It's fun. Again, for my autism self here, I would have liked a little bit more colors, but hey, it's still good. It's fun. Number 5, St. John Skippers. I said yesterday, it's kids meets Pirates of the Caribbean meets lacrosse. It's a cool pirate otter skipper thing. It's just a cool looking thing, and it's fun enough to where a kid might like it, much to what Michael Gray said about the childish hammies, I think this looks a lot better. And it's like, it's cute and like cool at the same time. Number 4 for me, Detroit Drift. Shout out to the Turbos. We know that last year, Pat Gregoire, for one of his all-star teams, had a Detroit Turbos, and looking up the logo for that to make one was so fun. I loved that they're like, hey, you know what, jerks, you want to take the Turbos trademark? That's cool. We're still the NLL, and we'll still do a purple, black, and white colorway. Freaking love it. Shove those jokers. I don't know if they had asked for the purple. I doubt it. Detroit Drift, it's a freaking rhino. How could you not love that if you're a kid wanting to play lacrosse? Number 3, I have been corrected. It is not Gillazilla. I want it to be someone on TikTok. Let me see if I can find this again real quick. They said it's pronounced Gilazilla. That's cool. I wondered if like the G was kind of like a Spanish or whatever that language is thing. So it's a Gilazilla. Is what someone, their name is Ben Quadraneros. I feel like he would know. I don't know why. I just feel like he would know. The colorway here is so freaking awesome. The pink tint to match the sun, beautiful. The animal's intimidating. I love it. Number 2, they're top 3. Again, we're going Arizona number 3. Number 2, people didn't like this one. I loved it. I think that was my bad, Steven. That was dumb. Number 2 for me is going to, I don't know if you saw that, District Cherries. Washington, D.C., beautiful. I think D.C. being District Cherries is so cool. And the pink and rose color cherry, that's awesome. I love the contrast. And finally, the number 1 team for me, folks, I said it yesterday. If I am in Long Island and I'm thinking to myself, Seafoam Green could never be topped, I raise to you Moon Jelly Midnight Blue. That is gorgeous. That is so fun. I love the little glass-like head alternate logo. That's amazing. If the Riptide don't come back ever, I need this colorway like you would not believe. All right? So again, there's my ranking. I'll have a list for you later. But basically, that was what I went with. We got some comments. I'm going to get to those quickly. We'll take a break and then go to Steven Stamp. But Pat Gregoire says the skippers need to be higher. Man, I love it. I can't argue with that. Michael Grace also believes skippers is one of the best. And Michael Grace said should have a stick in hand, not a paddle. I think we're talking about the skippers as well. That's cool. I love it. Again, it's not expansion teams, but Tampa Bay, the way they're fast tracking with Tampa General Hospital, I wouldn't mind it. Love it. All right, folks, that's my top 12. I might do a bigger rank later. We'll see. I'm going to be right back, though. Got to get Steven Stamp in here after the break. Let's not wait any longer. Let's talk 2025 NLL Draft class. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
We are so back. Steven Stamp, how are you, sir?
Not too bad, thanks. How you doing, Michael?
I'm really great. What was your thoughts on the unboxed logos? Yes, sir. Those were some fun looking names, man.
Yeah, it's funny. The hammies, I agree with you, is a little weird. And Clippers for sure are good. I thought it was funny that you're like, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. And you're like,
Yeah.
rolling.
I
But
told
it's hard not to, right?
Yeah, I told myself the bottom three just go through them. I couldn't do it. I had to make fun of the hammies. Had to do it. Sorry, Cincinnati. I'm sorry for those kids, man. Are we good on like the bio over here? Like, does that look good? Like Islander writer, NLL Draft analyst, lacrosse play by play. Is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty
Okay,
good.
well,
I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah,
I was busy looking at you. I was making eye contact.
Right. Well, good thing it's not there anymore right now. Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk NLL Draft. And again, I appreciate you coming on. We need to have you on more often because I know like you do more than just draft stuff, but your draft stuff is so good. Like it is what it is. So like I appreciate you coming on the show. So let's talk about it. Obviously CJ Kurse goes number 1. Toronto Rock took all 3 of their picks. Good for Jamie Dowick, that bastard. That's not me being mean. I'm just making fun. But do you think those top 3 picks were the top 3 prospects, or you got someone deeper in the first round or second round that you like better? Give me your top 3.
I mean, you can go to my my top 50 prospects story on IL Indoor, and I'd have to remember who I had. I had Kirst. I think I had Alex Marinier.
Cool.
Up there, and did I have Braden Saris?
Caleb, are you a Caleb Kahn guy as well? Like, is he? How close is he to that top 3 or 5 for you?
Pretty far from there. I think he's an 18, 19-year-old goalie, right? He's played against men, so
yes.
I don't know. I just thought Vegas's draft was very strange in that you would think, looking at the league, if there was one team that needed immediate help, it was Vegas.
Yep.
And then they take Casey Wilson, fantastic player. I might have had him in my top 3. I can't remember. But fantastic player, but out for a year with the ACL injury. And then Caleb Kahn, a young goalie. Now to their, obviously they had plans in free agency, as we've seen.
Apparently.
So it makes some sense. You bring those guys out there and you're doing okay. But I'm curious to see how the defense comes out. I think they still need to add on the defense. But in terms of my top class, and there's the draft class and then there's the rookie class, right? Because you look at Toronto's draft class, and it was Ty English at number 2, but the rookie class is Sam English because Ty's going back to school for another year. Sam is coming in, so he'll be a righty forward. I know there's some talk about whether he's a forward or a defender. Jamie Dowick told me he definitely has him thought of as a forward. That's part of why they didn't take a righty, because there was, Marinier and Saris available very high in the draft, right? And they didn't take either of those. They took the 2 lefty forwards in Kirst and Hiltz, and then the lefty transition as well.
I got to ask you about CJ Kurse. Like, let's circle back to him. You did mention him in your top 3. Obviously, he went number 1. He was consensus. I know the college game, he broke all the records. The Kurse family helps because he obviously grows up around the box game.
Yeah.
Do you think he can make an impact year 1? Because the reason I asked that is Tom Schreiber, we know there's a situation whether he plays or doesn't play. We hope he does, but he might not.
I don't think he's
Can CJ Kurse step into that role and be even a top 2 or 3 option? Like how good can he be right away in your opinion?
Yeah, he's going to be really good right away because he's played a ton of box. He's played for the U.S., right? He's played box. He played on the U.S. team for the World Championships. He's really good. He's a very different player than Schreiber. It's interesting because when Tom Schreiber came to the league, he came with Kieran McCardle and Connor Buzek, right? In Toronto, and Buzek never really panned out. And I remember watching Matt Kinnear from Inside Lacrosse. One of my editors, he asked me after a game or 2, he's like, hey, what about this, Schreiber and McCardle? Like McCardle had more points and whatever. I was like, Schreiber's it. He's there. He's ready. McCardle's going to take a while. And it was pretty clear, I thought. Nobody steps into the league like Tom Schreiber did. It's just not normal to be that good at box when you haven't played that much of it.
Both versions too.
Oh, both versions. Yeah, he can do anything. And he can shoot left-handed in box, which you honestly shouldn't be doing that much as a righty. But Kurst is a different player because he's more of an inside guy. He's a banger, but he's also a scorer. He's going to play a big role. He'll be, I don't know if he'll be a 1 or 2 option, but I'll tell you, playing the left side with Mark Matthews, is going to be
He's
really
back,
something.
and no one's
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah, and then across on the right side, like CJ's going to do so much. Like Josh Dawick had a breakout year. I think he's going to love having CJ Kirst over there, right? All those righties.
Yes, the owner's son, Josh Dawick. I love that.
No
Patrick,
nepotism though. He scored 40 plus
listen,
goals,
man.
right?
If you're good, but I don't care whose son you are.
Yeah.
Pat said you had Kirst 1, Marinier 2, Saris 3, Wilson 4, McLeod 5. Yeah, we didn't mention McLeod. That's a good point. Thank you for Pat for doing the research there for us.
Thanks, Patty.
How dare us both be on? I'm kidding. Okay, so going back to the immediate impact, folks, we mentioned Kirst. Which other, give me a couple or a few guys that you think could make immediate impact again, regardless of where they're drafted? You got anybody that you think are like, that's a pretty pro-ready player right now, even if no one's talking about him?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a team, actually, that has a heck of a rookie class. And again, it's a combination of last year's and this year's draft. That's the Georgia Swarm.
Yes!
They were one of the young teams that are on the rise. They were good last year. I think they'll be better. The first round, they had 3 first rounds, and you're going to be good if you have 3 first-round picks. You're going to have a good draft. Yes. Right? Colorado had 2. They did a great job. They got Saris and Knock. Connor Knock and Braden Saris. That's great for them, offense and defense. With and Halifax even took Will McLeod, who you mentioned, who's going to be a great sleeper at 12. What a bargain! They're going to have to wait a year for Alex Marinier to come to really get the impact of those two who played together in Burlington. Won the Minto, but Georgia first round. Ben Trumbull, great D tranny, terrific, big, solid. Great running. Like he was the transition player of the year in the OJLL like 2-3 years ago now. And you look at his stats, you would have thought he was playing forward just by the numbers he put up. He wasn't. He was playing transition. And then Nolan Byrne, the lefty, really, really good. Had a great year with Whitby, and he's kind of bounced around in teams, but he's so good. He's going to be a very high pick in the MSL draft this year as well. And then their third rounder, they took. I wasn't sure how high he was going to go, but Jeremy Phoenix. People list him as Phoenix Lefebvre. That's his full name. He told me he's going by Phoenix because people messed up the pronunciation. That's a great name, Phoenix. It is. Jeremy Phoenix is a great name. JPL, you can call him. He's the face-off guy, which I think he's a very good defensive player. He's gritty. He's smart. He's a great character guy, great room guy. Pretty good on face-offs. And I think the benefit from him for them is he can take face-offs. Jeremy Thompson doesn't have to, because Jeremy Thompson hasn't had a really good face-off year in a while. But I think, like watching Jeremy in the summer, I thought he was playing as well as he has in years as a runner, as a D tranny player. And I think he could still be very effective in the league. But at this point, as the mid-late 30s, take off the face-off pressure. And that's only going to help him as well. So there's their 3 first-rounders, right?
I love
They also took Kian Moon, the righty from Alberta, at 41.
And
I can't believe it. I had him in my top 15. I had him going in the first round. I had him really high. And he is good. I think he's having a good camp. When I spoke to John Arlotta about him, I said, I can't believe you got Moon at 41. He's like, why was he there? Why was he there for us? I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot of righties. One of the things, ton of righties in the draft, right? Like 25 righties who could probably play. Now, guys coming back from last year, Michael Grace just commented, right, on the show?
Yeah.
While you were talking with him, Michael Grace was a first-round pick, 3rd overall last year. He joins them this year, and he is very, very good. He is very good.
I'm 100% sure Michael Grace is also just a Halifax fan somewhere, but I would love that if that was. It might be.
I didn't know. I thought that was him.
No, it's good. It's good.
And one more, Carter Page, who they drafted last year, is another righty that they're looking at. And the funny thing with Georgia, they also have 3 guys who played partial seasons last year, who are coming back. So, and one of them is Jacob Hickey, who is huge for them. Like, he is a great defensive transition player. He played the last half of the season. He was drafted 2 years ago, but he kept going to school at Western University in London. Won a couple more Big Attaway Cup championships, which is on this weekend, by the way. You can all watch it on my YouTube channel. Black YouTube, Big Attaway Cup. So check that out. I'll be streaming those. But Hickey is fantastic. And they've got a guy, Liam McGraw, who hadn't played he played 2 games last year for Georgia. He had a really good summer in Owen Sound this year. And I think he's ready to have an impact in the back end. So I think they've got their draft class and their rookie class and their young group of players is just pushing that team. I think they're going to be good.
I love that. is Liam McGrath, so like you pronounce him McGraw?
It is McGraw.
Yeah. Wow, see, this is why you're a broadcaster, because you get those. I love that. Wow.
Well, I asked him.
That's a fair point. So I know we've talked a lot about the draft here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to switch gears here a little bit because I know, like, again, like you give us draft knowledge all day long, but thankfully there's articles we can read about that as well.
Yeah.
Who do you think? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Who do you think wins the championship? Is it Vancouver?
So I've been thinking about that. I think Vancouver's a really good bet because we do a preseason predictions, right, at IL Indoor, which you should check out. We've got a really great staff.
Have you made that yet? Because I don't want to give you spoilers. Okay,
we haven't. I haven't decided on who my pick is.
Yeah,
and we're going to have a vote, right? So I've got Vancouver right up there. I mean, best goalie in the league, all the additions, and the guys coming back. Even I mean, you have the best defense in the league, and you add Reese Callies and Shane Simpson for transition that Del Bianco can throw to. They're going to be really good. Saskatchewan's going to be very good again. I've got them right up there.
They're sleeping.
Yeah.
They're sleeping on the rush. So, even though the odds makers aren't, they're still sleeping on the rush. Like,
I'm not really a big odds guy, so I don't know where they stand, but those are my two, I think. And I mean, you can't write off the 3-time defending champion Bandits.
Yeah, they got their goalie back, I heard.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, some Vince guy. No, Vince.
He's not
People
bad.
like to say Vince. It is Vince. If anybody's wondering, it's Vince. Vince.
Yeah, please. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. I didn't want to lead anybody astray. But the thing is, it's hard to repeat as a champion. It's really, really hard to three-peat as a champion. It is incredibly difficult to four-peat because everything has to, so many things have to go well in a season. You have to go right. You have to avoid injuries. You have to, so many things. It's just, honestly, and that's not dissing on Buffalo at all. It's incredible that they three-peated because it's so hard. And they're going to be a very good team. It's hard to imagine the series of events happening where they win again.
I know like 4 obviously would be the hardest because it would be the fourth one. I think we're like underrating how hard this one is because of Vancouver and Sask.
Yeah.
I think like we say, okay, yeah, Buffalo's the favorite. Was like, man, that's tough.
It is. And you know what they say that you have to lose before you win in pro sports, right? Saskatchewan has been rebuilding from their dynasty era, and they've been getting better and better. They missed the playoffs 2 years in a row by a single game, but then they get back in, did really well, were very competitive. They were very close in game 3 of the finals last year before Buffalo just ran away. That was nuts.
Second half was nuts. Right? Yes.
It was. Yeah. So they're really good. And now they've had that experience. They've lost the championship. I think they're right on the verge. That's why I'm not ready to say it's Vancouver.
Right. I got cooked, by the way. You remember this. When I had the nerve to say Dane Smith had not won a championship, and then he rattles off 3 in a row. But like you said, he had to learn to lose, and it took a couple of times.
And not to give you too much credit, but Dane said that as well.
Oh, there you go.
That they went through that. And not so much that they had to lose, but they were tired of it and they'd learn from it.
Yes. Yeah. All right, one more thing I want to ask you, and then I'll let you go. Yeah. Because our next guest is Chris Fox, and you and was it Brian Shanahan for the one where USA beat Scotland for the IIJL?
Yeah, that was this summer.
Even though Canada, I forgot where they were. Anyways, I'm kidding.
Shut up.
But what a game! Though there were so many awesome players. Scotland has some little dogs, man.
Yeah. They do.
Good on you. That was a great call.
Gritty club.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was good on you for that. Did you do all of the IIJL, just that one?
I did them all. I've done the IIJL World Juniors for 8 years, since 2018 or so, I guess. I think was the first year.
One?
The best one was probably 22 was really a great team. That was like Deacon Knott and a bunch of guys.
I love that guy.
They that was an awesome team, and it was so cool because we were coming off in 2020. It was canceled, right? 21, we just had a Canada East, Canada West, because you just couldn't. 21, you didn't know far enough in advance how it was going to work, and that was good, but it was. I mean, it just wasn't the same. It was great to be back, but 22, you're back in full swing. Awesome Canadian team, great Haudenosaunee team. Just the U.S. was rising. They wound up winning their first title in 23, which was really cool. Seeing guys like Ryan Colsey and some players. But 22 Canada, I'm trying to think. I think that was the team they had like Will McLeod, Silas Richmond. They had a heck of Tanner Buck, was an all
My
world team
Lord.
guy, and not, and yeah, they were great. Mitch Armstrong, who's playing for Philly, that was a great team. That was just loaded.
It is fun, like when you look at those teams that you broadcast. I know Montana Lacrosse League. I know Jake
Yeah.
Naso was already a thing, but just seeing Jake Naso or Ben Foster, and now Ben Foster gets a Calgary deal, is I know how you.
Yeah.
It's got to feel good seeing guys in the league. You're like, I remember you.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's so
Ben and his
fun.
brother have played over in Prague several times with the
Wow.
Glasgow Clydesiders. So I remember seeing Ben playing over there and just dominating and thinking, this might be his year. That was a while ago. And
Calgary
yeah,
needs some offense, man.
yeah, he's talented. He's talented.
So is Ethan Forger. That's a story for another day.
I know. I had it. Go look at my draft rankings and my prospect stuff back when he was coming out. So I was all about Ethan Forgrave too.
See, Steven Stamson at first. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. Thanks again for your time. You're a wealth of draft knowledge. Thanks for the comments, but Steven, that was awesome, man.
Hey, it's fun coming on, and lots going on. Remember, check out the Piscataway Cup this weekend on Stamp Black's YouTube. I'm trying to think who some of the NLL players are that are playing. I mean, there's a bunch of guys. I mean, Will McLeod, actually, the Halifax draft pick, was the leading scorer in the league, drove Guelph to first overall, and makes them a powerhouse. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to be there, if he's going to be in camp. I don't even know yet all the details because guys have camps. It's hard, right? But there's a lot of great players. I was saying Jacob Hickey played the last couple of years. There's a ton. Nick Volkoff is with Guelph. There's a ton of great players. Trent Scott's some players. Curtis Romanchuk is a coach with Trent. And he's the guy. Keep your eye on him this year. He had a good year last year with Halifax. He was fantastic in Cobourg this summer. And he is the guy that I think people are going to finally notice. He was drafted a while ago, kind of bounced around, went to Rochester. But he's the guy that I think is going to have a big kind of breakout year on defense for Halifax.
Love that. And again,
sorry, I keep talking after your
time. You're fine. Thanks again. We're looking forward to your pick on Island Door as well, sir.
Sounds good. Good talking to you.
Yes, sir. Steven Stamp, everybody. I'm telling you guys, he's a wealth of knowledge in the scouting game. NLL Draft analyst. I call him an expert. Well, that's up to the eye of the beholder. But we'll be right back, folks. When we come back, we're talking to Chris Fox. Let's talk more IIJL and some more NLL season stuff.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
We're so back. Chris Fox, sir, how are you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Listen, man, I know I asked Stamp how's his bio. I should have asked him beforehand. You did help me with making your bio. So IIJL president, CLL president, CEO. Thanks so much for coming on, man. I got to ask you what I asked Stamper. Thoughts on the unboxed logos yesterday?
I think your taste and my taste are wildly different, but I like all of them. I think the biggest thing is that
cool.
The designs are great. Like
yes,
the execution of the actual designs are great. And again, like we know that they're for kids.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people on social, especially I saw on Facebook, everybody thinks they're expansion teams. So like you've mentioned it. I think there needs to be, and it's hard because people people love expansion so that's
Yeah.
where their mind goes right away. But I like some of the ones from before. I think
Yes. That's a lot. I wanted to like rank them together, but it was too much to do today. But I'm
I did the quick eyeball test. And it's cool because they're going to Edmonton, and the branding for the neutral
a
site game
juice. Yeah, yeah.
is the same color as the juice. I think like if I had to go 1 through, I guess, 5,
Right.
the Edmonton Juice, love it. And
Juice are
again,
nice.
it's hard because some of these names, like the Charlotte Cobras, that's an old NLL team, right?
I love the Cobras. I didn't
And
even know that, but I
that's why
still
I
love
like
that
it.
logo.
Yeah.
I like the Baltimore Ghost Crabs, by the way. They're
Yeah.
sweet.
So I would go Edmonton number 1,
Right.
Charlotte Cobras, and I love the Miami Tormentas. Spanish is bad. Baltimore Ghost Crabs, and this is where you and I start to veer off
Oh
big
no.
time. I love the San Francisco Gold. Like when you put it up there with all the rest of them, it just
That's
stands out.
It is unique, but that's the thing with. But you can make the same argument for the hammies, though. It's like it's such.
Well, the pink
I don't
does
know, man.
pop. And speaking of the pink
Yeah.
lagers, there's just something with the black and the pink with the lagers.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
cool.
I
And then the last two, the what do you call it? Honorable mention.
Right.
Providence Vampires is pretty cool.
Yes, because it's upside down. It's so
Yeah.
cool that yes,
Yeah, so
unique.
that's and the colors, like it's hard because like the colors they need to be so different.
Yep.
But it's great colors. And then while outside of the gold, I really liked this on this last set of communities, Jacksonville Swamp Puppies. I think that was just super well executed.
I
Stands out
agree.
really
Well,
well.
the area also loves it too. Like I
Yeah.
said before, I asked the designers, I was like, is this kind of Florida Gators? And they were like, eh. But I thought Swamp Pumps because every year the Jacksonville hosts the Georgia-Florida game.
Yeah.
And we have like a crocodile like refuge around here. Like it's so fun. Like just, I thought it was well done. People don't realize the checkers are a thing right now. They actually have some games under their belt.
Yeah, they played in a U.S. boxer event, didn't they?
So cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, and then like that's again, our mind always goes to, even though we know this always goes to expansion, but
Right.
with the Sticks and Schools programs, if they can get kids interested, sure, there's
Yeah.
lots of field lacrosse players in the States, but being in the box is totally different. But
Right.
then seeing the fruits of the labor, they're already playing in organized box games. That's what it's
That
all
was
about.
cool.
And
That was surprising, actually.
yeah, and who knows? Like the logos are professionally done. They're investing. Like we can talk about how much something like this costs, but regardless of what the dollar amount is, like they're still
Yeah.
investing dollars into this. And if an area can get behind box, who knows? Like these might, if there's a big enough community and they're
Yes.
bought into the branding, who knows? Like maybe some of these could be one day, because they're done well enough that everybody on Facebook they can go and then now they can have their expansion team.
I do wonder if they're like, I know these are like for schools and stuff, but like if let's say the checkers or the snow. I keep bringing up the snowbirds because like they have the general
Mhm.
hospital. They've talked about them a lot.
Yeah, they got a
Is
sponsorship.
there an adult team that the NLL has in the back pocket? Like if we get an Edmonton team, if it's not a relocation, obviously, will it be a juice kind of
Yeah.
like an adult version of? I don't know what it is.
Well, and again, there's in my mind, like this is lacrosse, right? Like there's board members, there's executives, there's coaches, there's
It's a lot of
players
people. Yeah.
doing so many things in different organizations that like you're seeing them playing US box events. I
Yep.
know the NLL, they always want more connection to the American markets.
That'd be nice.
Who knows, like these, and they're great names. So I'm not saying this in a derogatory sense, but like a lot of these names are very minor league baseball. They're fun. They're connecting to the community. They're kind of off the cuff, quirky kind of things. Like who knows, like maybe there could be a development system for like junior or
I've said that
or something. You know what I mean?
Because like NCAA lacrosse, I remember one of the first things Americans get, like in my opinion, at least in the South, one of the first things we see on TV is college lacrosse, or if we're watching ABC one weekend, we get the PLL.
Mm-hmm.
But college lacrosse, NCAA, is such a giant. The NLL needs, whether it could be like they do like those events like up northeast. I forgot what they're called, but like we do need our own farm system that cannot really compete, but like at least be a good farm system that's like because there's so many leagues up north. Many leagues.
We have that up here, and there are American guys because they're pretty centrally located towards the border, while all of our cities are.
Right.
With ALL East, ALL West.
Yeah.
And again, like, for as much as it is a formal farm system, it's still informal.
Right.
Like the U.S. market is a totally different animal when it comes to like a farm system, and realistically, this is what I always say about an NLL farm system. And the NLL is top tier, like it's pro of pro of pro. But when the players, when the league itself is structured that the players are still part-time, meaning that they still have full-time jobs, it's very hard to then have a farm system that supplements that, because
that's
like,
true.
You got to get the economics of it work, and the NLL just going through a CBA. Like, they're focused on structuring their economics to a way that they're going to be sustainable. Like, now they have a 5-year CBA. I don't know what the opt-outs are. I think there might be there's probably definitely an opt-out in year 4.
Yeah, it's after 4.
Yeah, so like the economics really have to be stabilized before the NLL can contribute to a minor league system.
That's a good point.
The ALL is phenomenal. Like there's so much talent in there, but it's just a matter. And like, I talked to some of the coaches that are on our staff for CLL are also on ALL staffs.
Oh,
and
cool.
they've been old, like some of our previous staff members. But I think that where the ALL becomes an issue is that some of the guys that are playing in the ALL, they do want to make it to the NLL, and some guys are just happy playing in the ALL. So where you have, like, it's the same thing in senior lacrosse. Some of the teams practice, some of the teams don't. So if that's going to be your official farm system, you want guys bought in where everybody's from the, I don't know what the roster size is, but the 25th guy all the way to the first guy, they're all chomping at the bit to be in the NLL. And I don't think that's there yet in the ALL. So it's there. Like, now there's guys, and same thing with the old CLAX League, Paul St. John's first league, which was the Canadian Lacrosse League as well. But CLAX, like, he started it there, and phenomenal job to Paul St. John is to continue to provide those guys with the opportunity.
Skippers,
because now something happens, boom, you're up.
Woof.
They're in shape.
I love it. I do want to ask you, just like real quick, and then we'll get to the IIJL, speaking of farm systems. So Josh Blumenthal, who is like years ago worked in the NLL in different roles, he mentioned in like the Twitter comments recently, you may not have even seen this at all. He said he's been a part of lacrosse for 30 years. And while he was an NLL staffer, he assisted for a scoop and shoot program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of that. He sent like a link to like something, but I was wondering, like, what do you think needs to happen for the UnBOXed to not be just another thing the NLL had an idea of? Like, do you think we're at the point where it's sustainable, seeing the checkers work, or do you think that there's still a long ways to go to see if this actually works?
Like, well, I don't know the scoops and shoot specifically. A lot of, like, it's schools, like sticks and schools.
I didn't either.
Right, like sticks and schools. Like, I don't know, scoop and shoot. Like,
it's kind of
same plastic. They're plastic sticks, like soft lacrosse. But there's one thing about introducing lacrosse to schools. Like, I did it when I lived in California when I was at Whittier, and I worked with Adrenaline and Stars Lacrosse, and that's Scott Hockstedt. And now Scott's with Legends. Adrenaline's still going. But what we did is we got a per diem for the day, and we were at a school. And it was nice because all of the gym classes in California were outside, so we spent all day outside.
Oh,
And we're just like, here, take a stick. This is how you scoop, shoot. And then we talked to the kids about, and the teachers were there. We talked to
right.
them about the origins of the game. It's a Native American game,
Yep.
and then how it's kind of progressed. And if you want to play, go sign up for your club team. Go sign up for your middle school, high school area team. And if you want to play with us, here's a pamphlet for Stars Lacrosse.
Yep.
So I think that's one thing. Getting, and you look at some of these markets, like they all have lacrosse now. It's not
Right.
like, it's not in the US. It's not like it's just a East Coast thing anymore. There's lacrosse everywhere. But I think getting them introduced to box lacrosse, because that's totally different. Like you got
Agreed.
Casey and Ryan, and I think Mikey's involved too with Powell Lacrosse, and they got their
Right.
speed. And that's great. Like it's just pick up a stick, here's a softball, play some backyard stuff. That's phenomenal. The next stage in the US is play some field. And then box is totally different because I think field is great. And I love field at a time. But what the Americans and what new lacrosse people, I don't think are aware of, but every time you step from the bench onto the floor, box is intense. So
Yes.
that's going to be good for some kids. Some kids are going to love it, that they can go out there and rough and tumble without the ball. But for a lot of kids, a good introductory is field, and then saying how much they like the contact, and then getting introduced to the box. So how they do that, I think getting them to see box, and that's
Yeah.
going to be hard. Well, okay, perfect example is Edmonton, right? Obviously, we all know that Edmonton is a huge box hotbed, but they're having a neutral site game there. So if these markets are going to, and they all have arenas, whether it's AHL, there's some NHL building, there's a lot of East Coast arenas. If they're going to have neutral site games where, let's say, they have a huge uptick in schools and these kids are something like the Checkers, they're like, okay, this is box. But getting these kids to see box in their backyard, that could be another thing. And then that's a way for the NLL to monetize this, right? They're playing a neutral site game, they're selling tickets, and now becomes a destination event. I don't know what Georgia is doing to get fans up to Edmonton, because that's a Georgia home game. But I do know that Georgia has signed on with Cosmos Sports Entertainment to sell group tickets. That's a firm out of Toronto. So there might be something. I haven't seen it. I tried to sign up for the Georgia newsletter. I couldn't do that on their website. But so there's definitely ways to monetize this. You see the Snowbirds have a sponsor. So obviously they're
cool.
But I think that's what it ultimately comes down to, is that to do these things, and I'm sure it's being done, you have to have somebody in the community that is going to go from school to school, community program to community program. And that's manpower. So not only is there money behind the designs and the trademarks, you need boots on the ground to say, here's 50 sticks, kids, this is what we're doing.
And it's also, it costs money.
Yeah.
It costs money to have employees, to have sticks. It is what it is. So let's do the IIJL. I kind of poked fun with Stamp. I said, Canada didn't make the final. No.
Yeah.
It shows you that USA. I mean, there were some good names on those rosters. Full disclosure, I was not able to catch. I think you got 2 more IIJL events this year. Because there's 3 total.
Yeah, no. So we always have our World Juniors. That's how everything started.
Right.
And everybody that likes to talk shit seems to think that I'm the IIJL, but I'm not. I was brought into the IIJL. And we started with our World Juniors. So that's our marquee event. And then we have 18s, 16s. We have had, and we are talking about starting up again our women's World Juniors.
Heck yeah.
And then we're going to have a kind of a preliminary event to the U18s. It'll be the IIJL North American Cup Series, and that'll be in August, 2 weeks before the World U18. So we're going to use it. The United States is going to use it. The Haudenosaunee are going to use it. and it's just one-off games. So Canada will play the Haudenosaunee. Haudenosaunee will play the U.S. The U.S. will play Canada. And we haven't finalized what the amount of players that we're going to be interchangeable, but we're flirting between 30 and 35 guys that we're going to be able to put on the rosters for the 2 games that each country plays.
Heck yeah.
To make the U18s a little bit more buttoned up and try to get that as close to the juniors as possible. And then in terms of women's, it'll probably be at the same time as the men's. It won't be at the same time because we don't like doing that at the junior level because World Juniors is a big event. But we'll be able to utilize the facility immediately after the other. So we're going to be out in Alberta. So get set up for the men's, play the men's, have the women come in. They'll be able to practice on the floor before the tournament starts. And then the women's will follow up, start right as the men's ends. And then we go to Australia every year. We have partners with Australia Box Lacrosse. So we go down at the end of February this year, first few days of March. So we bring 20 guys down there and our staff. It's pretty cool this year. We're doing a coaching clinic to get a lot of because there's 3 groups that play box lacrosse. One has a dedicated facility. Another one plays in a velodrome right in the middle. It's pretty cool. But we go down to Melbourne every year, and those 3 groups come in. But what we want to try to do is talk with, because they're on a club system, kind of like soccer. So we want to talk and get all the field lacrosse clubs in and start trying to help them transition. Like, okay, this is what box can do for field, but where they're asking for help, it's like, okay, well, how do we apply some of our field stuff to box? And that's not always an easy transition.
Right.
And the U.S. has done it now over the last 10 years, and now they have a lot of great coaches that have gone through the systems and they're coaching real box. But when you don't have the facilities, like Australia, like they don't have the facilities. There's one dedicated box facility to the entire country.
The fact there's one is awesome.
Yeah, and it's outdoors. It's phenomenal.
That's awesome.
So just trying to help them and get them to understand, like, it's just you play different because the surface is different. Like, you have to create space in a different way. So instead of alley dodging, you're setting picks, and this is why, and angles, and kind of getting them caught up to speed because they're good. It's just they don't have, like, Australia's great. They have the athletes. It's just reps. It's just so different. And then, like, not only that, it helps them with sixes. Is this same
True.
thing?
Some of those guys, they might move like kangaroos. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big kangaroo guy.
We go to a golf course every year. It's like a kangaroo sanctuary, but they just roam free.
Love those guys.
Have you actually seen a kangaroo up close?
No, but I've heard it's like seeing deer. Like, they're everywhere. Like, it's unfair.
They're prison deer.
Can you?
They're just
one?
Oh God, no! You stay away from.
Why not?
No, don't. You don't go. They'll kick the shit out of you.
Don't take the fun out of me, man.
No, man, they'll beat you up.
That's kind of cool. I've seen the videos, but so that's actually a thing. Like, they are jacked.
Well, some of them, like the males,
on the cross, but it's still cool. I love the kangaroo part of it.
And they just chill out and lounge, and then they startle, and then like a herd up and over the golf course. It's pretty cool.
It's one of the most unique animals in the world.
Yeah.
So let's do this. I know you've had some IIJL players pop up here and there in the NLL. I got to ask you, and I hope you can say this information. Can you give me 2 or 3 players you're looking at this year in the NLL that may be IIJL alum that you like to see if they can look good this year? Or
like, we got to, like, in terms of the IIJL, that's, but like IIJL is like, there's American Haudenosaunee players that we kind of keep a list of, but our guys that have played in the IIJL events with the CLL, like, we have 20. I couldn't find a complete training camp list for Rochester or Halifax, but like Will McLeod's in Halifax, and he's playing Kufla right now. So hopefully he's with Guelph. Hopefully he doesn't miss the Begataway Cup to go up to training camp. But Will McLeod, I'm really excited to see him in the league.
That's cool.
But, like, we have 20 guys.
The U.S. roster had some monster players this year.
Yeah, they're big boys. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
but again, like as much as they're part of the IIJL, I don't keep track of their rosters.
Yeah,
Um, and then we got a lot of guys in Ottawa: Dunbar, Saunders,
really.
Bauer. Bauer Swissen's a beast. He's a
Oh,
Saskatchewan guy up from PA. That's a phenomenal program up in Prince Albert. They get like they punch well above their weight class, the PA Preds. They go. Well, I think they finally lost a game after
kind of
3
like
seasons.
Scotland this year.
What's that?
Kind of like Scotland in the game. The fact that they made it to the U.S. to the championship against the U.S. It was like punching above the weight class.
Yeah,
Taking the
exactly.
league by storm.
Yeah, but then we got Lane Hershka's in Ottawa too. Hayden
Really?
Dixon's our only guy in Calgary. Luke Pilcher, Chris Weir, Dalbs in Vancouver. Ari Steenhouse played U17 with us, San Diego.
That's cool.
I'm and here's the thing, like I just want all the teams in the NLL to win their home games. Just win all their home games.
Right.
But I like Philly just because I want Philly to do well. I want them to
Oh,
win games. But we got Mitch Armstrong. I like Sam LeClaire is a guy that was back
he's a
in.
water bug, dude.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And Deacon Knott is going to be an up and coming goalie. Like he
Love
needs
Deacon.
to. Like there's a lot of good goalies. And then I think Stamper mentioned we've got a lot of guys on Georgia training camp right now. Mike Grace, Liam McGraw, Ben Turnbull, Keen Moon's there,
And
and
all
then
those guys played in the IIJL at one point, huh?
they all played with CLL at the
That's so
IIJL
cool.
events, World Juniors.
That's so cool.
Nolan Byrne, and then Saskatchewan. Thomas Kaiser played with us at U17,
That's cool.
which is now our U18
And he
event.
wasn't too bad last year. And
Yeah, and
that was
then
wild.
Deegan Carlson. So Deegan Carlson played with Saskatchewan SWAT, and that's how we got introduced to him. We had a good relationship. Still have a good relationship with the SWAT. But then he went out to the BC Junior A League
Mhm.
with Burnaby and completely ripped it up. Led the league the
Woo!
only season he was out there. And it's gonna be really nice to see what Dagan can do in the NLL. Like he's a bit bigger now than when he played with us.
Oh,
But
wow.
he can shoot, man. It's same thing with Will Peshko. Like all these guys can shoot. Like everybody, and that's why everybody gets excited about Unboxed, and they don't realize that they're not expansion teams. That
Yeah.
there's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
There's so much talent, and there's only more coming. But then there's like 35, 38, 40-year-old guys still in the NLL.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of talent.
So let's transition to this and we'll let you go. Do you think, because I've said a few times, I haven't picked Vancouver win at all, but I think this Vancouver roster, the fact that they were able to keep Claridge and Keegan Ball and even Peyton Cormier, who once was an awesome player, Del Bianco, and then add the other guys, it's like this roster's silly, kind of like Buffalo's has been. Do you think Buffalo gets 4? Do you think Vancouver? Do you think who do you think wins, or have you made a pick yet?
Well, I don't make picks.
Join us.
It's hard. Like I look at the bottom in Toronto, like the very bottom last year, Vegas. Like look what they did. So those two teams are not going to be at the bottom of the standings. It's going to be It's going to be interesting to see what Oshawa does, just because whether it's a move from easy travel or whatever it is, but now that they're all together, they're quote unquote in market.
Right.
See what they do, but like Vancouver,
it's a stupid roster, man.
It's but then you still look at the top of the standings from last year. Like Halifax is going to be good again, Saskatchewan, and then Buffalo. Like you can't rule Buffalo out. Like they lost some pieces, but
right.
What they do is they have guys that are bought in, like that they could have easily not fill those roles completely. But how often every single year do we see guys that are not mid range guys, but guys that again punch above their position and they start to fill roles. Like
that's why Chase Fraser in Vegas is so interesting to me. Like, is he going to take a massive step?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like, again, if Jack Hennig gets traded, which I think he will, if he does get traded, then can Fraser work along with who's going to step up besides who's going to step up besides Jones, though?
Well, and I think that's why you can't rule Buffalo out, because it really, as much as your players are important, obviously your goaltending is important. You have to have a staff that no matter who's on the floor, they're doing the right bought thing. In. And like obviously Vancouver has a staff like that.
Yep.
And then guys want not only to be in Vancouver, but to be a part of that team, be a part of that staff, be a part of the roster. Like Buffalo has that. Same thing with Saskatchewan. Like same thing with Halifax. Like so the top 4 from last year have it all, and it's just a matter of who stays healthy, right?
Well, of course. So, question for you, like just because I thought about this, you got let's say the top 3 are like some order of Buffalo, Saskatchewan, and Vancouver.
Okay.
Who can enter the 4th spot? Are you a Rochester guy, or are you not buying that?
I don't.
Oshawa?
And I don't know. Like I really, if somebody's going to come up and make a drastic move comparative to last year, you can't rule out Toronto. And I haven't been paying it. Yeah, Matthews is back. I didn't know that until you and Stamp were talking about it.
He was injured. Like you don't think that he's back. But like, oh, he's actually there. He's still there.
Is Schreiber like out for the season?
It feels like we're leaning that he's at least going to take the year off. We don't know what it's after that, but it feels like he's not playing this year.
Yeah, I really don't think. I think Toronto's going to. Here's the thing: Toronto will make a drastic jump. It's just like how big of a jump,
right?
And then here's the other thing. Playoffs. It's like if you're peaking at the right time,
absolutely,
and then you're going into playoffs and you're injured, it's hard. But I think injuries are the biggest thing, and this is the other thing that I always find fascinating about the NLL is that as soon as guys start to make roster cuts, immediately you see other teams pick guys up, and at the end of training camp looks a lot different than what the beginning of the season even looked like, where there's that week and a half where free agents are being signed and guys that are released. So that'll be interesting.
San Diego's going to find
San Diego, Colorado. Like, is Ottawa, like, look who Ottawa has. Like, you can't.
Hellier helps. I think Hellier might help, but I'm also skeptical because last year I thought the Hellier was going to help out the Seals more than he did. It turns out he was old, like he might be old.
And again, like it's a league where parity is very easy because travel is involved, and even though the season and the games are fairly spread out, it's a grind. So that's why I don't do picks.
All right, there's your answer.
Become, as least as helpful as possible, but just by saying everybody's good, everybody has a chance, and from a league perspective, and that's kind of where I look at it. That's what you want. Like you want the games
I'm
to be
noting to self, next time you come on, don't ask him to make a prediction. It's bad TV. Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on. First time. I feel like we had you on before. Apparently not. Time flies. We're having fun on the show. Season 4, we got you on. How's that? That's fun.
Yeah, that's great. No, better late than never. Was never expecting to be on anyway, but I watch every single day doing work, and I love it, man. So keep it up.
Thank you, man. Good luck to all your future endeavors, including the IIJL, CLO, etc. More Box Lacrosse is great, and thank you again for putting those games on YouTube. It's freaking awesome, man.
No problem. We got with Shanny and Stamper. It's gonna be awesome. Excited for this year. World Juniors is gonna be exciting, and there's a lot more stuff coming.
Cool. We'll keep the people guessing, man. Thank you again.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Chris Fox, everybody. That was fun. I knew it would be. Guys that are just around the league and know the league and know the players. It's so fun. And I wanted to end with this for the record. I did know that Brett Frood went on Lax Class yesterday, I think is when that episode aired. And he basically he was I loved what he said because there's a point like about an hour into that episode where Brett Thru does say that he's not blaming reporters because I made the Buffalo Bandits rule report. And I will be 1,000% honest. I think I did jump the gun. It was not a new rule yet, but we had Brett Thru clarified it is a new rule in the crease rule that I posted a couple of weeks ago. So I wanted to mention that I appreciate the fact that Brett Thru even answered a question like that about reporting and stuff like that. I know that he has to be aware of how media works. The only thing I'll mention just to keep the conversation going, again, because what Brett Thru said was phenomenal. I raised the NLL this, and I know, you want to control the narrative sometimes. People don't understand that in the NFL, before the league voted on the tush push this past offseason that the Eagles always run, the media was talking about it. And I think the NLL at one point, the owners and the league, etc., is going to have to just suck it up and realize the bigger this thing grows, the more you can't control what information gets out. And again, I do understand the perspective. Like, I'm not taking shots, I'm just like saying what my thought process is. I do think there's validation in saying that, you don't want to influence decisions, you don't want to jump the gun. But I do really think that information is going to get out. And I think the team owners and even the commissioner a little bit in the NLL have to, kind of embrace that. But I thought it was fun. So that, again, I just raised people tush push and know the media talked about that before that was voted on. But yeah, the Bandits rule is, I call the Bandits rule, it's like the crease rule where if you're a defender, you're standing, you're puppy guarding. And if you try to block a shot, no delay of game. All right, folks, thanks for watching today's episode. I had to get it off my chest. Thank you again for Lax Clash for shout outs. And thanks again for Brett Thru for being transparent with that. You guys have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow, Pat Gregoire's on the show to talk a little bit of NLL futures. And I've heard that he may want to do some draft stuff as well. So Pat Gregoire's on tomorrow, among other things. Thanks so much for tuning in. This has been Daily Dive. We'll see you next time, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel and natalkradio.com. Bye.